Okay, so in the previous tutorials I've actually just shown you how to set up animations with the Sun Path module, and in this one I'm actually going to use the Sun Path module to use the cycles renderer to actually do some unbiased rendering. So what I'll just do is move this cube up, and again I'll add a plane here just to represent the ground plane, let's say, and I might even scale that up a little bit more just so it looks a bit better. There we go, something like that, I don't know. And I might even add some cubes around the place just to again make it look a bit better. There we go, just something like this. I'll scale that out. I'll delete this there. I'll leave the camera in for now. Actually, no, I'll get rid of it because we can put that back in later. So I'll just create some boxes around the place, and these could just represent buildings or whatever. Okay. Now we've got our Sun Path module started up, so like I said, we can actually draw the Sun Path if we wanted to, and you can actually visualize that. And don't forget the time of day down here. Now the trick to in the previous tutorial, what we actually did when we used the normal Blender renderer was we actually just went add lamp sun. Now that's fine for when you're using the Blender renderer, and it creates a sunlight that comes down in an orthographic projection. However, the cycles renderer, if you turn it on here, doesn't really work very well with point lamps at this point. So what's actually best to do is to set up the scene as if it were like a real scene with actual lights, and you need area lamps. So what we're actually just going to do is use a, oops, sorry, shouldn't have done that. We're just going to use a plane. So I think I added a cube there. Now there's a plane that we just have, and what I'll do is the exact same as what we did before. We go down here, we got our Sun Path, and we might make it like March or something, the 1st of March, and we'll apply the Sun Path for that. And what you can see it's done is that plane now follows, if I get a better view here, you can see the plane follows and rotates according to the actual Sun Path, which is pretty cool. So that's great there, and it's all hooked up to the animation. So what I'll do is, just to see that better, I'll just turn off the actual Sun Path, and you can see it's 9:45 in the morning on the 1st of March, and that's your area lamp. So you scale that up if you want. You might even want to increase the radius of out to, say, you know, more like 30 meters away or something like this, just to put it a bit further away. But for now, I'll just make it say 20. There we go. And so it's a bit like that. There you go. You might even want to make it a bit bigger. What you're trying to do really is trying to set it up. I'm not very good at this, but you're trying to set it up as if it were an actual scene, you know. And you go over here to your materials, and what you do is you add a new material, and you make it an emission type material. So there you go. And set its strength a bit later, but what you can see now, that's an emission type material, and all of these just should be pretty standard. Sort of, you know, you could actually select all of these and make them all the same type of material. So make it like that one, and copy that to others. There you go. So that's now an emission. We could even recall that light or something. And what you can do, because it's a real-time ray tracer, you can actually now just turn on the rendered view, and you can actually see there, okay, there's cycles rendering in real time. You might want to increase the strength of this up to, say, 8 or something, and you start to get a better idea there of how the unbiased render is working. So it looks beautiful. You got nice fuzzy shadows and all the rest. However, to get a really nice render, this is where you use a bit of creative license. What you'd probably want to do is duplicate that light, and I'd then maybe want to rotate it around the 3D cursor and use it as a bit of a backlight over there. So I'd actually add a new one here and call it backlight, a new material, and give it a lower strength of like 4 or something, or 3, you know. And you might want to put a few of these backlights all around the place. So you got one stronger one here that might have a value of 12 or something, and you got some backlighting, add a few materials in there, and you can start to get really, really nice renders of that scene. Obviously, this is being limited now to a few iterations. So if you go here to the render scene, you can turn on the integrator, and in the preview you can set that up to maybe more like 100, and you'll see up here that it's actually rendering more and it's smoothing it out, and you're getting these, it's just looking beautiful, you know, as it starts to go. So that sort of stuff you can do. Obviously you're not restricted to doing just visualization through the screen. You can actually add a camera back in, and you can grab your camera. You probably want to turn it off at that point, and you can set up a camera, and you can do full fly arounds, exactly the same as before. Whoops, there we are. So you can set up your camera. You can make sure that that's going to look good. Turn it on to the rendered view. There you go. Beautiful. Might want to back it up a little bit. There we go. And if you want to render the animation then of the sun path, you can do the exact same as a previous tutorial, where you set the time limits from what time frame to another time frame, and just click the animation button, and that will render that scene. But you can see already, just with 100 iterations, it looks absolutely beautiful in the viewport. So that's how to use the cycles renderer with the Sun Path module. All right, thanks for listening.